Hello! Welcome back to Love at First Right. I love this song so much. I want to listen to the first couple of lines. How about that? Give me two strong arms to protect myself. Give me so much love that I forget myself. That's just brilliant. So this week on Love at First Right, which is my vlog chronicling my endeavors to write an epic saga of a series that I've called it a romance in previous Love at First Rights, but that's really not very accurate because it's bigger than that. It really is a saga. It is very cross-genre in the respect that there is adventure and war and passion and sensuality, and certainly it does center around the love of these two people. But I have decided to make it, to dial it up to 11, to make it just big, because I want it to be something that readers can really sink their teeth into. I want it to be a world that they want to enter and live in and die in. And part of this, so I've really been kind of unintentionally, actually, although I read Joseph Campbell's Hero with a Thousand Faces years and years ago, I didn't realize how closely I was emulating it until emulating this series that I'm writing until this week, when I was revisiting some of the themes in Hero with a Thousand Faces, and I realized that I was writing a lover with a thousand faces. So in Hero with a Thousand Faces, Joseph Campbell kind of maps out a hero's journey, kind of the archetypical hero's journey, the one that really kind of hits us where it hurts and grabs our attention, grabs us by the lapels and makes us engage, and which creates a truly memorable hero. And so it goes as so, excuse the ping, it goes as so. The hero or heroine, in my case it's a heroine, receives a call to adventure, which takes her out of her ordinary world. And she will have a mentor, or perhaps a series of mentors, who guide her into this new world, which might be a paranormal world, or it might be simply a world that she is completely unaccustomed to. In my case, a very violent world. She, in this world, she goes on a road of travails where she must prove herself. These travails really show her character until finally she is presented with an ordeal. And if she rises to the occasion and she is able to overcome this ordeal, she receives a boon or a gift that she then goes back and shares with her community, which might be literally her community where she grew up, or the world, or the universe, or however big the stakes are in the story. And my stakes are going to be really, really big. And so, as I was looking at this, I was thinking to myself, okay, we've seen stuff like this before. I mean, Wonder Woman is such a heroine, isn't she? And, especially in the last few years, there has been this tendency to make female heroines, well, for one, superhuman, and certainly there are paranormal elements in my epic series, but they are not necessarily these ultra superhuman types of qualities. They are they're more paranormal qualities of the spirit and such. But what has been very popular is to sort of make well, make women like men, make them able to kick ass and to kill or fight swaths of men, and to, be able to lift boulders or whatever and shoot people at 2,000 yards or whatever that particular skill is. But usually these sort of heroic qualities that have been ascribed to men in these big stories. And what I did not want to do was go down that route, because it is just so done. And also because it's not very realistic. And while I love those stories, they're fun, I love to sink my teeth into them, it's great to imagine being able to do those things. At the same time, I don't feel that they are necessarily a celebration of femininity. They're really often a celebration of male heroic ideals that are superimposed onto women. And I wanted my woman to be feminine. I wanted her to, and I mean that as an archetype. I don't mean that she's wearing pink, okay, and playing with Barbie dolls. I want my heroine's qualities, her very admirable qualities, her superhuman qualities, to be rooted in very realistic feminine qualities. And so basically she will not be able to kick ass. That's what it comes down to. And so I'm going to have to be able to get around that. So as I've been thinking about how does she get around this, as I've been writing this, because she does, she's a very young woman on top of it, and she is in this very frightening world. And she's not particularly strong. She doesn't know how to wield a bow and arrow the way Katniss Everdeen does in the Hunger Games. She was actually raised in a very sort of wealthy, pampered household, and suddenly she finds herself having to overcome huge obstacles and sometimes seek the protection of men. And so as I was thinking about what her superhuman qualities are, I came up with 3 really basic qualities that I've used and will have to continue to use in order to help her rise to the occasion and become the sort of big heroine that I want her to be, a Joseph Campbell style mythological heroine. And those are courage, wit, and virtue. Now, courage is pretty self-explanatory because she simply has to have the pluck to go into very dangerous situations and without throwing someone else under the bus or in any way disgracing herself. She has got to walk through fire. She really has to have that grit within her that allows her to say, okay, I may not survive this, but damn it, I'm going in there. Now, wit. By wit, I don't mean that she's witty and fun, although she is. What I mean is she has her wits about her. She is smart. And she realizes that she's at a great disadvantage. And she has got to use her brain. She has to use her wits. She has to use what she has learned in her short life to its maximum so that she can figure out how to get around a big, strong man who wants to kill her, who wants to hurt her, who wants to rape her, for instance. She has to figure out how to help those that she loves and who are under her protection, because she is also a protector. She has to figure out from whom to seek protection, who she can trust, who she can partner with. And last but certainly not least, virtue. Now, virtue, that is a many-headed goddess, isn't it? Virtue, yes, I think it certainly is about honor. I think more than anything, virtue is about having very strict standards for yourself and very firm boundaries for yourself. There are lines that you will simply not cross, because you know that if you do cross those lines, you will be giving up a real part of yourself, and a very strong part of yourself that has helped you overcome and that has brought you to this place where you are the hero. You are the person who is protecting others. You are the person who is having to overcome trial after trial. And the realization that if you let go of your virtues, that if you let go of your sense of honor, that if you keep moving that line in the sand, erasing it and redrawing it, that you are lost, and that you may win battles, but you will never win the war. So I have actually started with breath. I mean, I've talked to you about the sort of big novels that I'm writing in this series, but I'm also going to be writing several novellas, and I have started the first of these novellas, and I will be posting it on my Patreon page. So if you're interested, I'll be posting the first 3 chapters for free. So if you are interested in going to Patreon, that's Patreon, and looking me up, Victoria Doherty, and I create stories that bring magic back into your world. That is the sort of subtitle of my Patreon page. And I would really, really love for you to go and check them out. And I would love for you to comment. And I enjoy making this a really interactive experience. So thank you, and see you next time.